Welcome to the Healthpreneur podcast. My name is Yuri Elkaim, New York Times bestselling author, former professional athlete, and founder of Healthpreneur, the world's leading company, helping health and fitness experts start and scale high-end coaching businesses. If you want to attract more clients, learn how to convert them without feeling salesy, and deliver an amazing program for them on the back end, if you want to be inspired by what others just like you have gone through and how you can do the same no matter what life throws your way, then you are in the right place, because every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to be bringing you the best to help you take your knowledge and expertise to the next level with your health or fitness coaching business. And if you enjoy what you see and hear and would like to take your business to the next level, then I invite you to check out our free online training over at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. And for now, let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, what's up? Yuri here. Welcome back to the show. I'm joined by our results coaches once again today. Amy, Steph, and Jackie are in the house. I think Steph's screen has frozen, or have all of your screens frozen, or is it just me?
Maybe just you.
Okay, good,
yeah.
Good. I think Steph's is frozen, so she's in an interesting pose there. Anyways, so today's discussion, we're going to be talking about whatever you're feeling fear around is probably the right thing for you to be doing. Now, let me just put this into context, okay? If you're afraid of somebody who's chasing you with a knife, we're not going to walk into that situation, right? So what we're talking about here is in the context of you doing things that you know are going to move you forward to your dream, and even though you feel the fear, is being able to move through that to that dream. Because a lot of times what we see, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is that the number one reason people don't invest or enroll with us or do the thing that they know they need to do is because of fear, right? It's because of fear. And you can call it whatever you want. So I need to think about it. It's too much money. I don't know if the timing is right, whatever. At the end of the day, it's all fear. And you have to recognize that fear is an emotion that your body is saying, hey, listen, it's uncomfortable and that's okay, but here's probably the thing you need to be doing, because the only way you can grow is by getting uncomfortable. And if you're making decisions out of comfort, then you're probably not making the right decisions to help you grow forward. So Jackie, let's kick things off with you. What do you see with either our clients or prospective clients when you're speaking with them around this whole discussion about fear and moving forward to their dream?
Yeah, it always boils down to fear. Whether they have the money or don't have the money is irrelevant, because they always bounce back to this little piece. When I'm enrolling people, especially, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, but I'm so excited at the same time. I'm like, that's good. You're human. You're human. It's okay. Embrace that. And we're here to support you. So then I just say it's always the opportunity to take that energy and allow it to be fear-based or allow it to be excitement-based. And that's a choice we have within our brain, within our thoughts, within our emotion. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's not like we're telling you to go run in a forest full of bears that are starving. We're telling you to deploy your perfect client pipeline, and we're giving you a proven roadmap for that. So it's like night and day. But when we become more aware of how we act as humans and aware of how our brain is so powerful, and the fact that we can pick and choose how we feel about something at any moment, it's actually kind of nice. Like, it kind of gives you that freedom and that comfort or not even comfort, wrong word, confidence in that it's okay to feel this, but it's not okay to stay there, right? So being fearful, being excited, being uncertain, those are all great things, because that means you're going into new territory to bigger and better. If everything was still familiar, you'd be staying exactly where you are. And that's not what we're doing with our clients in our own company, right? Yeah. So, it's one of the big ones that we hurdle through on the free coaching call. And it's not just in their business, but it's all areas of life too, right?
Yeah. Amy, so you recently had LASIK eye surgery. Going into that, you obviously in your mind had this vision, pun intended, you had this vision of better eyesight, no glasses, but there's probably some trepidation and fear going into that process, right? Like, walk us through how this can relate to that process you went through. And actually, we can't hear you, so your audio is not on.
Thank you for mentioning that.
There we go.
Awesome. So I'm going to actually share with you, this was very odd for me because I had no fear. But I did speak with lots of other people at the LASIK eye surgery place. because I was 100% focused on having vision and not wearing glasses and not having my glasses slide down my face and fog up when I'm doing sports. And it had been such a pain in my neck for so long that I was so excited I didn't look it up, but I did speak with other people in LASIK. Everybody else took Ativan. I was like, it's a 12-minute surgery. I'm not taking anything. But I can't say that I behave that way in every area of my life and I don't experience fear. I knew what the outcome was going to be, and I really think I shocked the doctors because I wasn't scared. Everybody else was super scared. They had watched on YouTube. You know, they were like, did you watch on YouTube?
Video of the guy whose eyes are,
Yeah, I was like, no. I'm like, I don't need to see them cutting eyes. Like, I know what they're doing. Yeah. So really the way that I was not fearful, and which the only thing I can explain is I was so focused on the outcome that I didn't care. I didn't care that they were cutting my eyes. Like, I knew that I was going to be able to see. I had no doubt. So that's kind of the knowing. And I just, in that situation, did not have fear. I've had surgery in the past when I was younger, abdominal surgeries, that I was fearful, because I wanted to feel better, but there wasn't a guaranteed outcome, and I was being put under, and I didn't know if I was going to wake up, but I still went because the pain that I was in was so great that anything was going to be better. So I couldn't eat. This was, digestive stuff. I couldn't eat. I just was constant pain. So the surgery, even though it was going to be major surgery and healing, I knew, I hoped I would feel better, right? So the way that this can relate back to our clients is, many people come to us and either they don't have the income they desire and they're struggling, or they don't have the impact they desire and they're struggling and it's hurting them. So they're in pain emotionally. They're in pain because they're not helping people. They're not creating the income they want. But yet they're fearful, is this going to work for me, right? Like, many people at LASIK are like, oh my gosh, am I really going to have 20/20 vision? I have 20/15 vision. It's pretty awesome. So I think the same thing happens when we work with our clients. Is this really going to work for me? Well, just like surgery, if you follow the recovery steps, it's going to work for you. So you put that fear aside. And like Jackie said, I love that reframing. I used to feel that heart pounding and think I was having panic attacks. And I realized they're not panic attacks. It's excitement. I'm about to go somewhere that's totally unfamiliar. I don't know what that looks like. But what the great thing is, whether it was in the doctor's office or here in the HBA, we've got support, right? You've got all of our coaches, and you're not alone. So even though you're fearful and you have a roadmap, like you said, Jackie, we're human. So fears are going to pop up, but that's why you're going to lean in. So lean into the fear, because what you want needs to be greater than your fear. Fear and self-doubt are killers, and they're just going to keep you stagnant. So lean into that fear, because on the other side of fear is the amazing outcome that you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yep, totally. And that's really good. Thanks for sharing that. And good on you for not feeling fearful. But I think one of the things you mentioned that I think is interesting is you said going into LASIK, you had no fear because you had this knowing, right?
Yeah.
The knowing is so... Listen, guys, like 99% of the time, in most cases in life, we're not going to have the knowing that everything's going to work out. Right? And you have to get to the point, you have to do whatever you can internally in your mind to get to that point of knowing that whatever you do is going to work out. And here's the thing though, is not having a guaranteed outcome before you start. Because this is the big thing, is everyone wants the certainty that this is going to work out for them. And we tell clients, listen, this is going to work for you, but we don't know if you're going to do the work. Like, we can't guarantee a specific result. Your outcome that you say you want, hey, listen, we're going to give you everything you possibly can ask for. But you need to be the one who's going to determine that outcome. And so a lot of times, I think, again, I've been on this planet for almost 39 years now. And when I look at people who've achieved massive amounts of success, the only difference, I think, is self-belief. Honestly, it's the self-belief to keep going. Because most people doubt the process, they doubt whatever it is. But what that's telling us is that they doubt themselves. Because if in my case, if I'm going to jump into anything, it's something I know makes sense for me, and I'm not expecting that thing to give me the results. I take 100% responsibility for my outcomes in my life, so therefore, if I don't get the result, I understand that's my fault. I'm like, okay, where did I not show up to the fullest? So it's like, listen, if you take responsibility for your results, whatever you embark upon, whatever you jump into is going to work out, because you will make it work no matter what, even if you're using the worst possible strategy. So let's look at an example here. If you're doing a course that's talking about like blogging, right, and using a blog to build your business, the worst possible strategy for most people. But let's just say that you followed that. It would work. It would work if you did the work and never gave up. Now, I don't know when that's going to work. It's going to take a little bit longer than some other strategies, but if you put in the time and if you put in the effort, it will work. The same thing with any other model. Now you just have to determine, well, what's the best model for me? What's the best strategy based on what I like to do, where I see my future. But whatever you put your mind to, you will achieve. And that's the biggest thing, is like you have to go all in. You can't be going into something with one foot out the door already and wondering, like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. So,
and Yuri, the other thing is that your energy flows where your focus goes. So if you're fearful and you keep looking at, is this going to work? This isn't going to work. This didn't work for this person. That's what's going to happen. So one of the things with LASIK was they gave me sheets and sheets of paper to read. And when it started to get to everything that could go wrong and that we can't guarantee I stopped reading.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that was not good was they should have, I think, in my opinion, reordered the information, because the information at the end was important, and I needed that information because I didn't want to stop working out or skiing, and I didn't read that part, right? So I still had to listen to that, even though it was hard for me, but I didn't focus on everything that could go wrong because I wanted to see. So why read that, right? So that was for me. So that's what I really advise is, yes, there's going to be someone it didn't work for. They probably didn't do the work. So don't focus on them. Your energy is going to go where your focus is. So stay focused on the course, like Yuri said, and the fears will sort of slip away because you'll create the confidence because you're taking the steps every single.
Yeah, Amy, when you say the focus, I was just going to bring that up real quickly, is I always say to our clients, it's false evidence appearing real, but you're choosing to focus on the evidence, right? You want to focus on this working, focus on the moving parts, focus on the strategy, focus on putting your work in with each step. If you want to focus on what's not working and why it's not going to work and how it's not going to work and how it's not going to work and how it's not going to work, right? Then it's not going to work. Totally. So it's always where you're putting that focus. And it's always what you believe. And it's like, you're not our first client. If you were our first client, be like, oh yeah, we're both taking a risk here. We have hundreds and thousands of people who have utilized this process even outside of us, right? There's people doing a simple perfect client pipeline with proven strategies and being successful. It's just, is it taking them a year, 10 years, or in 6 months working with us?
Totally. Steph, are you still with us?
I am. Could you guys see me?
You got a really cool like pose going on.
My gosh.
But it's all good. I just want to make sure that you're with us. So,
well, hopefully it goes away, because I know what it looks like to get frozen on weird faces sometimes.
It's actually not a bad shot. It's pretty good. It's like a nice thumbnail for the YouTube video. So
I'll have to just trust you guys on that one. So anyways, one thing, so I'm a researcher, right? That was what I did for many, many years. So, and research around the brain is my particular just sweet spot. I love it. It excites me. And the other thing that excites me is helping people reach their goals, right? So one of the things that I think is so, so important for people to understand when it comes to the science of the brain is that when you feel fear, it switches off your motivation. That causes procrastination, right? So we have a lot of people who go on these calls and they're like, now's not the right time. I just don't know. I don't know. And it's like, well, of course that's how they're going into it, because if they're feeling fear that this isn't going to work, or fear that in their own abilities, right? Because the other thing that procrastination is attached to is lack of self-worth and low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have the confidence in yourself, of course you're going to feel fear that you're not going to be able to do it, and then that's going to switch off your motivation centers, and then you're not going to do anything, and then you're just going to get stuck where you are. So that's why it's just important to know that when you feel that fear of, I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on this, that you have to really question that and just say, wait a second, is this the best version of me that's feeling this, or is this that old version of me that's gotten me to where I am now, which is not where I want to be, which is why I'm on this call right now, right? So you just have to kind of remember that fear isn't real, just like Jackie said, false evidence appearing real. And always just question that when you are doing that thing where it's like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month, you're just prolonging your pain, basically, when you do that.
That's a really good example. Thanks for sharing that stuff. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I want to give you guys, viewers and listeners, a little visual here to make sense of this. I'm going to just see if I can just share this full screen with everyone. Okay. Can you guys see that white blank slate? Hopefully. All right. I think it should, because that's what I'm seeing. Now, if you're obviously listening to this on the podcast, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you're watching this on a video, that's you'll know what I'm saying. One of the things that that I learned through a lot of my Abraham work, so Abraham Hicks, the whole law of attraction stuff, whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter. It happens. So you have you now, and then you got your higher self, right, or your inner being, whatever you want to call it. And there's this disconnect, right? So your higher self only wants things for you that are obviously in your best interest. So you have this there's a disparity from the very fact that you can think of something, and the very fact that you can think of something means that your higher self believes it can be true for you. Now, the discord, the fear, the emotion that happens is in this right there. So what's happening is that your higher self knows you can be more, but you're down here. You're over here right now. And that distance, that gap, is what causes the emotion. And that's what causes the fear. Now, what happens is as you get closer to what your higher self believes is true for you, there's less fear. There's less emotional resistance in that process. So you have to understand that the more emotion you're feeling, the more fear you're feeling around a specific subject, understand that it's because your higher self is saying, hey, you can do this, but right now you're a little bit far away from this, and that's why you're feeling this discord and emotion and that fear. Does that make sense, guys? And just in the context of what Steph said, and I want to illustrate, again, there's a lot of different kind of models and frameworks around this type of stuff, but I want to give you guys a bit of a visual to help you understand the journey of achieving anything. So you are here, let's say at the bottom of this pyramid, right? So this is your now. And up here is the dream. So this is where you want to go. Now this is a journey, okay? And this journey is riddled with fear and self-doubt. Will this work? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. So you have to understand that this is part of the process. It's going to be there every step of the way, even as you get to different levels in your business and different levels in your life. So some of the things that pop up are, okay, you're here now, you know you want to change. First thing we're going to start thinking to ourselves is, will this work? And more specifically, will this work for me? Yeah, that's great that other people have gotten great success, but I don't know if I can do that, right? So then the next thing we start thinking is, well, I don't know if I can do this. So that self-doubt really starts to kick in. So we're at a point where we know we need to change. We think to ourselves, okay, like, will this work? I don't know if I can do this. Then we basically get to the point where we say, okay, I'm going to do this. And we plunge in. And then the real journey begins, because now we understand that, oh my God, this is hard. This is hard. And all of a sudden, it's, I'm going to stop. And the thing is, this journey right here, like these two areas right here, these are kind of like in the journey itself. Down here, I'll just put these in gray. All of this down here is just deliberation. This is all just thinking about getting ready to getting ready to get started, getting your ducks in a row, whatever. And for a lot of people, this area right here can take them years, or maybe never. And also at the same time, this area over here can take people years, because up here, right, they get stuck into a loop that can sometimes take them all the way back down here. Right? So they start, okay, this is hard. I don't know if I can do this. They start going, like, even once they're in the thick of things. But the thing I want you guys to remember is that your dream is just right there. Your dream is literally, it's like there's a gap here. The gap is right there. So when you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I'm going to stop. I can't do this. This is hard. Just remember, you're one tweak away. You're one introduction away. You're one day away, one relationship away, one tweak away from a breakthrough. And I want you guys to understand this, because in this process, two things you develop in this journey are confidence and clarity. And these are the two remedies to fear and self-doubt. And the only remedy to fear and self-doubt is by taking action. And by taking action, you increase your confidence and clarity, which moves you up this ladder, this pyramid. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? So, I mean, let's talk about this as it pertains to some of the people that we see, or, thinking about this in general. So let's use the context of somebody books a call with us. They want to speak with us because they know they're in a bad situation. They want to get out of it. And remember, everyone listening and watching this, like, no one just books a call for the sake of booking a call. And again, in our world, that means they're clicking on some type of Facebook ad, or in this case, listening or watching to this video, going to watch a 75, or in our case, 85-minute webinar. Then they're going to fill out an application. Then they're going to book a call with us. Now, nobody in their right mind who has no strong desire to move to the next level in their life or business is going to do that. There's too many hoops to jump through. So when someone books a call with us, we know there's a strong desire there. And if there isn't, we'll just cancel the call. But then, when reality sinks in, all of this stuff starts to creep in. And it's really interesting to be able to identify, like, what's going on with someone. And Jackie, Amy, you guys know it's very tough to talk somebody out of their fear. Like, they're so committed to that fear that it's very tough to walk them off the ledge sometimes. And it's like, hey, listen, like, there's a reason you booked the call. Why'd you book the call? Oh, because you want to change? You said this is a must now, so what are you afraid of? Right? So anyways, I'll let you guys jump into that.
Yeah, it's really loud and clear, because they've been living that fearful story for months, years, decades, right? So it's hard to rewire the brain in one conversation. You just can't do that. That's why you have multiple coaching sessions. That's why this is a perfect client pipeline launch, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens. It's the fastest way out there to make something like this happen, right? Yeah. But you're not changing your mindset like this. It's a habitual thought process. It's a habitual coaching conversation that has to take place consistently. Just like when a client is on the phone with us and he's like, well, when I'm confident, I'll enroll with you guys. Once I'm more confident, I keep hearing that word and I just want to reach through the phone and shake them, because like you just said, Yuri, the only way to get confidence in life at anything you want to do is to have the courage to first take action, but then you have to consistently take that action. That's the only thing that's going to lead to competence. It's the only thing that's going to lead to confidence, right? So when we get to that point in our life, it's like, okay, I want to speak on stages someday. Well, I don't care how many times you practice in front of a mirror, in front of your family or your dogs, until you actually go physically get on a stage and start speaking, you're not going to get that confidence, right? So same thing with this. But the cool thing is you get to lean in on the coaching. You get to lean in on a proven, predictable system, tools, strategies, frameworks. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that. To just push the buttons, insert what you need, and go, right? And then when you get on the phone and you get on the phone and you get on the phone, that practice, that consistent action will give you the confidence, right? The first time I jumped on a podcast like this, I definitely wasn't this confident, but I gave valuable information and it changed people's lives. So I continue to show up and do it, and we get better every day. So I hope that helps with a little bit of the confidence. You see, I'm passionate about this fear stuff because it stops people, but I'm a adventure junkie. So I love fear. Like, I love sitting on the edge of a plane. I love jumping out and knowing that my parachute's going to open. At least I hope it is, right? Because I don't know, but I did all the proper steps to get there. I have faith. I'm not the first person that jumped out of a plane, right? So, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, when you look at the clients that we've worked with versus those who knew they need to work with us but have not for whatever reason, the only difference is that the people who decided to work with us just took the leap. They jumped out of the plane. They said, listen, this makes sense. I know I need to do this because what I'm doing right now is horrible and it's more painful than the pain of the process. right? Of me going through this change, of this transformation, of going through the unknowns. But the very fact remains that they jumped out of the airplane and everyone else is still sitting inside, clinging onto their life vest, and they're not going to change. And guys, I'm sorry to say this, but you have to get to the point where your current situation is so painful that you're willing to move out of it. And if you're not there yet, you can't change, and we can't help you. And that's what it comes down to, because you can say whatever you want to say, but until you actually make the commitments, everything else is just it's worthless discussion. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And really that clarity, it's having the clarity and vision of what you want, even if you don't know how you're going to get there. That's why you come in and enroll with us, because we're going to light the path. We're shining that light on the step-by-step pathway, like Jackie said, with all the frameworks, with all of the coaching. It's not just here you go. We say, here you go, follow these steps, but then we provide world-class coaching. So that's going to allow you to gain the confidence. So we're going to hold the space for you while you're fearful. We're going to shine the light on the path, and we're going to ask you to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving. Keep moving and grooving, and you'll achieve the goals and you'll achieve that confidence. Yeah. But let's hold the space for you, and let us help you build the clarity of vision, because that clarity of vision that you focus on that every morning, every night, when you wake up, when you go to bed, you're not going to be able to help but keep moving forward, because you will be so passionate and confident in the fact that you need to live your passion that you're going to say, well, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for me to get there, but I'm going to let these folks shine the light, and I'm going to do whatever they say. And then you'll be successful, and you'll have the confidence, and you'll do the exact same for your clients.
And guys, I don't know if you recognize how powerful Amy, Jackie, and Steph are. They do a lot of our one-on-one check-in calls for our clients, and so often our clients are coming into these calls with feeling of overwhelm sometimes, or feeling like they're stuck or a little bit slower than they want to go. And every single time in 15 minutes, you guys give them so much more clarity. And that's why we structure the program in the way we do, because we know left to our own devices, even the best of us are going to get into those ruts, right? And if you don't have someone to hold you and raise you up, it's going to be tough to do this on your own. So that's why we provide the coaching and support that we do, because it's so powerful to be able to say, okay, you're on the right track, but you just kind of veered off a little bit. Let's get you right back on. It's like, okay, cool. Now, thank you so much. I feel better. Let's keep moving forward. And sometimes that's all we need. That's all we need to keep moving forward and to reach our goals. So guys, I hope this episode has resonated with you, because if you're a human being with desires, fears in the middle of where you are, where you want to go. It's as simple as that. It's always going to be there. And the only difference between those who get what they want and don't is those who get what they want move through the fear, and everyone else doesn't. It's really as simple as that. So if you are ready to move through the fear and the uncertainty, and you feel in your heart of hearts that what we're saying makes sense, you understand that we're not making stuff up. We're working with hundreds of clients currently, not just a few. Right now, as we're recording this, we have 217 active clients in our Health Business Accelerator program. Okay? If you want to be thrown into this mix and really given a winning strategy and getting ridiculous amounts of coaching and support, then here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to check out healthpreneurgroup.com/training, and that'll walk you through our 7-figure health business blueprint. It's a free online training, and you'll see exactly how we work with our clients, how we can help you as well. And if what we are showing you on the training makes sense and resonates with you, then be sure to book a call with us, and we can take the next steps and really craft out a game plan for your situation. Okay? So that's all for today. I hope this podcast episode has inspired you, has given you some insights, and has reminded you that, hey, like the book says, feel the fear and do it anyways. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you in the next episode. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of the Healthpreneur podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, here's what I'd like you to do right now. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Healthpreneur podcast on iTunes. And while you're there, leave us a rating or review. It helps us get in front of more people and change more lives. And if you're ready to start or scale your health or fitness coaching business and want to start getting in front of more people, working with them at a higher level without trading time for money, then I invite you to check out our free 7-figure health business blueprint training, totally free right now, and you can do so at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. For now, thank you so much for joining us. Continue to be great, do great, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.